How's it going, everybody? Mophead here from Eat, Sleep, Mix, Repeat, and welcome to Mixing with Mophead. Yeah, today I got a fun one for you guys. We're gonna be looking at some one-on-one flavors. So one-on-one flavors is doing like kind of some free samples and stuff. So I decided to pick some up, and then Fresh, shout out to Fresh. He was talking about the creamy milky undertone, and so I decided to pick some of that up and some free flavors, and then they sent me a couple free flavors with it, which was pretty cool. So shout out to one-on-one flavors. Oh, and I found out they're from Corona, California, which is pretty local to where I am. It's a couple cities away, but yeah, that was pretty awesome, man. So it's cool. Let's see what they're all about. So I got 10 flavors total, so we'll see how this video goes. I tried to keep the notes short, so I mixed up all 10 of them like last week, gave them about a week to steep, and then tested them all out over the last couple days. So the first one we will be looking at, let's take a vape first. So the first one we're going to look at is apple. This one was kind of just no good. I don't think you see my face because the lighting's still shit. But yeah, apple, no good. It kind of just like a basic red apple bought from the grocery store. Nothing special about that. A little candied, a little bit of artificial, somewhat juicy, but for the most part, it's just weak. I really just wasn't getting that much flavor out of it. Flavor I was getting doesn't compare to Fuji or Double Apple or any of the other big apples out there right now. So yeah, that one was kind of a bust. So the next one we'll talk about is Grape. Now there are a lot of grape concentrates on the market, and I went on actually a few months ago I kind of went on a journey to see which ones I could find I like. So I ordered like 6 of them and tried out a bunch, and spoilers, Inawera ended up being the best. Inawera Grape is actually really, really good. But a lot of them are awful. There's just a lot of grape flavorings that are just super awful. They're really perfumey, or they just have really weird off flavors to them. This one's actually pretty decent. I was really surprised. I kind of got like a grape Jolly Rancher. It's very artificial, but not really perfumey artificial. So I kind of got that grape Jolly purple Jolly Rancher type feel from it. I was talking to Jennifer Jarvis on the group, and she said, what she say? It was like Smarties or Sweet Tart. Yeah, I think, or not Smarties. Yeah, I think she said like Sweet Tarts or something is what she got from it. She said she got kind of like a powdery note from it, and her palate is a lot more refined than mine, so I would take her word on it. But we both kind of said, yeah, it's definitely kind of like a candy grape, but it's pretty good. I'll get to it. At first I mixed all these up at 3%. Some of them are kind of weaker than others, so some I had to up. This one was pretty decent at 3%. Definitely be used candies, beverages, things of that nature. But this is one I'll probably use this one. This one's not too bad. So the next up we got is raspberry. Their raspberry is really good too. I'm not a huge fan of raspberry, so I don't have very many of them. I think I have Inawera raspberry, which is pretty good, and then I bought TFA raspberry, but just the regular raspberry, not the sweet raspberry, which was a mistake. The regular raspberry from TFA is awful. It's just really hard to work with. It's really dry, and it's just like overly dry, and I don't know. It's just really hard to work with. This one's not. This one's actually pretty decent. It's a little on the sweeter side, but it's still got that raspberry tartness. It's pretty authentic. Maybe a little on the sweet side of authentic, but it's definitely got some authentic raspberry flavoring notes to it. It's got a little bit of dryness to it, but what you would expect from a raspberry, not an over dryness, just that little bit. Kind of what you would want in a raspberry. You want your raspberries to be a little dry because they're a dry fruit. But this one was really good. Is there anything else crazy I put about it? Yeah, and just because it's kind of softer on the tartness, I think it would just be really easy to work with. This is definitely one I'm going to be mixing with. I like that one. That one, I'll recommend that one. So the next one was blueberry. Blueberry's crap. Alright, I really don't even want to talk too much about it. I will, but it's got kind of a little bit of earthy notes to it. It's a little earthy. The flavor's very weak. It's slightly floral, not overly floral, but it's got a little bit of floral. There's just way better blueberries out there. Don't waste your time with that one. The next one we got, this is a cool one, Bergamot. Bergamot was I had no fucking idea what bergamot was. I actually just Googled it right before this video, but before I tasted it, I wanted to try and taste it, like not even knowing what the fuck it's about or anything. So it's definitely very citrusy, kind of like notes of orange and pineapple, and then I also got these kind of like really nice notes of apple, and then almost like this kind of like spicy chili kind of note thrown in there a little bit, like in a good way though, like similar to like Tai Chi or Chai Tea. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but anyways, really good, and then so I looked it up, and yeah, no shit, it's a citrus fruit. Actually, a lot of people refer to it as a bergamot orange. So, you know, it's green, but it's about the size of an orange. It's used in, what did I say it was used? It's used in a lot of stuff. They make marmalades out of it. I guess people in the essential oils and shit use it a lot. And then I guess it's used in a lot of smokeless tobaccos, like snus and snuff and things like that. It's used quite a bit in. It's just a really, really interesting flavor, and I really enjoyed it. It's going to be subjective, definitely. Some people aren't going to like it, but I thought it was really cool. I really want to like mix some, I think it'll go really good with some florals, and then maybe in like a tea or something like that. So yeah, this is one I'm going to be playing around with. Pretty fun, interesting flavor. The next one I got was the fruit punch. So this one I wasn't expecting much from, just because I've had bad experience with fruit punch vapes in the past. This one's not too bad. It's not super great either, but it's not that bad. There's no like you don't really get that medicine taste from it like I was expecting. So I put it's a little weak at 3%. You might want to. I didn't end up taking it higher, but this one, if you're gonna single flavor it, I'd probably take it up to like 4 or 5, probably like 5%. But 3%, I got it like enough to know what the flavor's gonna taste like. You know, like definitely got the notes in there. And it's kind of similar to like a Hawaiian punch, a little bit different, but that was kind of just the closest thing I could think of. Yeah, so it definitely needs help. It's, you know, I wouldn't just mix this up and be like, there's my fruit punch recipe. But with a little help, this could definitely be useful. Yeah, it's all right. You know, I mean, if you want a fruit punch, go out and get it. You know, it's not one I would be like, oh, you just have to get it. But if you really want it, you want a fruit punch, or you're working on a fruit punch, you know, yeah, that might help you out. Next one is butter pecan. That was kind of cool. Butter pecan, crap. Just fucking awful. This one was the worst, man. And then so I started out at 3%. It was super weak. Couldn't taste shit. So I added a few more drops in there. Started getting the taste, which wasn't a good thing. It just, I guess it kind of tastes like butter and nuts. Not really. Definitely doesn't taste like pecan. Yeah, I don't know. It's just really not good. Just don't even worry about it. The next one is Neapolitan. Neapolitan was pretty interesting. I don't know why I'm even bothering. Neapolitan's pretty interesting. Really nice strawberry and chocolate flavoring out of it. That's definitely what you get. Like if there was no label on this and you tried it, you'd be like, oh, okay, it's like a chocolate strawberry. The vanilla's there, but it's kind of weak. It would definitely need some help. And then it doesn't really have the ice cream feel to it. So it's more just like the Neapolitan, you know, without the ice cream. There's a little bit of creaminess to it, but not a whole lot. But it's a good flavoring. It's good. I'm gonna use it. I actually have a Neapolitan recipe that kicks this thing's ass, but you know, but it's a good recipe. So go on my ELR and check it out. It's really good. But what I want to do, I'm thinking. So this was another one I had to kind of bring up a little bit. So probably like 5 to 7% is where you're really gonna like start tasting, you know, like start getting something good out of it. So what I want to do with this is probably do like 7% of this and then like 4% Capella vanilla bean ice cream, and I think that would be really good. Kind of add in like those kind of missing vanilla notes and add in that heavy ice cream. You know, ice cream should be kind of a heavier cream, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be, but I know when I go for ice cream vape, you know, I kind of try and make it like pretty heavy on the cream. But yeah, this one's not too bad. It's kind of worth picking up. As for like the strawberry and chocolate notes in it, the strawberry kind of reminded me more of like a TFA strawberry ripe, and then the chocolate's definitely like a milk chocolate, and actually a pretty good milk chocolate, because if you've dealt with a lot of chocolates in DIY, you'll know like there's a lot of bad ones out there, and it's kind of a hard chocolate's pretty hard to work with. But they kind of nailed down the kind of milk chocolate aspect of this pretty well. That one I was slightly impressed with, not totally, but slightly impressed with it. Just being honest, man. Just got to be honest. But it's good. So, and then cream milky undertone, the one that Fresh, I don't know, swears by. So this one, I need to play around with it. It's really hard. You know, it's not meant obviously to be by itself. And when they say undertone, it's weird. Vaping it standalone, it's almost because that's like all you like. It's like you taste it down here somewhere, man. Like it just sits in the back, and by itself, like there's nothing up front, and that's really weird to try and vape something without an upfront flavor. So I could definitely see the uses from this. You get a little bit of like kind of almond notes out of it, which works in a dairy, you know. As far as texture goes, it's got a little bit of cream. I mean, it's like a milk, you know. It's really a watered down texture, you know. It's not like a heavy cream or anything. I think I want to try mixing it with fresh cream and some like cereals or something, but see how it pairs with fresh cream, because fresh cream I think will give it that texture it's missing, and then this will give fresh cream the notes that, you know, the actual like flavor notes that it's missing, and I think they'll pair very well together. But I can see this being useful. I'll get back to you guys on this one because I do want to play around with it more before, like, I really can't make a concrete yeah, I can't even think of my thoughts right now. But anyways, I'm gonna play around with this one, get back to you guys. And the last one we have, oh man, banana custard. Whoa, alright. The banana part of it's pretty good. It's kind of like a mushy banana, you know, like so kind of that banana you would get in like a banana bread or something, you know. Fucking let the bananas get like black and then fucking mush them up. It's got a little bit of like butteriness to it, which is good. It's a custard, it should. But then you get this fucking like off notes of throw up. And I don't know, like maybe cheese, I don't know, something kind of gross, and it sucks. Like it's just like it's almost really, you're like, man, this could be really good, and then you get this just fucking god awful like throw up taste that you can't, like, oh, it was weird. It was kind of hard, like, and I vaped on a few milliliters of it because, you know, I wanted to give it a chance, see if those maybe go away, and they don't. And I tried adding, you know, I started off pretty low and kept adding drops to it, and it just, yeah, there's this really weird throw-up-y off taste to it. So maybe, but, and it sucks because it doesn't have the runts, you know, the runt banana flavor like most bananas do, which is nice because that's kind of hard to find. So I was really hoping it would work out, but I don't know. If you can mask that throw-up taste, it probably would be pretty good. So what did I say I was going to try doing with it? I was going to try mixing, probably like, maybe I'll try and do a recipe with this and vanilla custard and, you know, Capella vanilla custard and TFA banana cream. And I think, I'm hoping the vanilla custard by Capella will be sweet enough and just strong enough to kind of take out that throw-up taste. And then I like the NTFA banana cream is a really good banana because it doesn't have the runts taste, and neither does this. And I think it'd be nice, you know, trying. I'm working on a banana cream pie too, and I was kind of hoping maybe this would help me out, but I don't know if I want to put this in one of my mixes. But yeah, that's pretty much all I'll have on that one. I'll have to work on it to see if I can get rid of that, but standalone, fucking no go. Throw up, that's disgusting. Nobody wants to vape throw up. So yeah, those are all the flavors. That's not too bad. I'm only at like 14 minutes. So overall, like, what do I think about one-on-one flavors? Yeah, you know, they got some winners and they got some pretty bad losers, you know. I mean, just pretty much like any company, and I imagine it's really hard being a flavor company coming out right now because, you know, Capella, TFA, Flavor West, Flavor Art, yeah, they've kind of been around for a while. Favor is getting really big and doing some pretty crazy stuff out there. And then you got these other companies, you know, one-on-one and like Real Flavors and stuff trying to come up. And I told you my thoughts on Real Flavors. They just haven't impressed me yet. So with one-on-one, I gotta say some of these some of these are definitely flavors I'd pick up again. Which ones did I say I really liked? Yeah, the grape's pretty decent. The raspberry I really like. I'll probably pick up the raspberry again. You know, maybe when I'm done with this. That bergamot's really cool. I actually dig the bergamot. The fruit punch is alright. The Neapolitan's alright. And yeah, the milky undertone I need to work on. The rest of them, yeah, not. But that's kind of what I expected. You know, honestly I didn't really expect to like any of them, and the fact that I do like some of them is pretty good. You know, their flavors definitely range. Some are good at, you know, they're kind of around that 3% range. Some of them you definitely need to bump up to like 5 to 7%. But overall, not bad, and they're local, which is cool. Shout out to you guys. But you know, they have some stuff. We'll see. They have like a ton of flavors. Yeah, I seen their flavor list, and they have like every flavor they have. They have like 10 different varieties of it. So they have a chili flavor I kind of want to try out. That'd be really interesting. And maybe it's really awful. I'll like mix up a bunch, and I'll mix up like a bottle and send it to John or something. Oh man. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Yeah, they're all right. You know, they're definitely somebody to keep a lookout for. And yeah, I'll probably try and use some of these in some mixes and see what I could do with them. So a lot of them do have just better alternatives out there, you know. So that was kind of, you know, that's kind of just the way the industry is right now with DIY. If you're gonna come out with flavorings, you know, you gotta try and make it better than what's already out there, and that's the problem with a lot of these, is there's just better stuff out there, but some of them are definitely promising. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. Take it easy.